to the Leftover Pants podcast. I'm Justin, this is Matt.
Yep.
There's only two of us here today. Teddy quit. No, I'm just kidding. No, actually, it's been a while. It's July 12th now. This is dated for the 10th. We're all over the place here. It's summer. We've had a lot of things going on. Matt just went to New York City because it was his anniversary.
I did.
Married for 10 years.
Dating for close to 10.
That's a long time. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Half your life.
Almost.
Teddy can't be here this week. He coincidentally went to New York City. He's got some things going on down there. Did separate trips, but you guys were both in the city and not here.
Yep.
So a little update, real quick.
Yeah.
Our friend Joyce Cepeda of Miss Crime Scene.
Yes.
She's very popular in the North Country. She has, she streams, she games, she does all that cool stuff. I'll tag her in this later. She's also a fan. I reached out to her recently and I said, hey, why don't you come on the podcast?
Yeah.
And she said, okay. And that'd be wonderful. And then we scheduled basically 3 shooting time frames in the last 3 weeks, and it really
didn't work.
It didn't work for anybody. So Joyce will be here hopefully next week. We'll see.
Yes.
You won't be here next week.
Hopefully she will be visiting us on the podcast.
She will grace us with her presence.
Unfortunately, I will be missing from next week's podcast. I have some other stuff going on, so...
Other stuff?
Yes, I have some other stuff.
Just like Teddy. Teddy had some other stuff. I don't have anything. But...
I've had a lot going on this summer.
It's okay. You alright, buddy?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm fine. It's all good.
All good stuff. All good news.
Stuff.
I got barbecue sauce on me. I don't know if you can tell on that camera. Hey,
what's up?
What's been going on with you lately? Well, gaming-wise.
Gaming-wise?
Yeah.
Doing a lot more Sony stuff than I've actually been thinking of lately.
It's the year of Nintendo.
The Zelda DLC came out, and of course I've been playing that.
We're going to talk about that.
That is a given.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing pretty much Final Fantasy XII. That came out yesterday.
The remaster?
Yep, the remasters.
We're going to talk about that too.
Which is actually really good, and I have some good comments about it.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. And I've been playing Crash, actually.
Crash what?
Bandicoot. The Insane Collection.
Ooh.
And I have some things to say about that too.
I'd love to hear it because I haven't played.
If we have a little bit of time to...
This is going to be a jumbo episode.
Talk about that.
This is going to be a jumbo episode. Because we owe the North Country, the nerdy North Country... Oh, we should coin that term. We owe the nerdy North Country some good leftover pants material. So we're going to film as long as we can today.
You should just put a big-ass TM.
TM, yeah.
Like a TM sign, like right next to our faces.
We're so witty. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot. What year were you born?
95.
It came out the year you were born.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I was doing then?
Not dating girls.
Yeah, not yet. But I was playing Crash Bandicoot, the original. It's the first game I got for my PlayStation, which... Actually, I got it in 96, because it was the greatest hits version.
Yep.
My mom got it for me for Easter, so thank you, Mom. Love me some Crash Bandicoot. We'll talk about that later. What else have you been doing?
Doomfist came out. Been playing him on the PTR.
We're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah.
On Overwatch, me.
Yeah. Overwatch.
I have something to say about that, so we're gonna discuss that.
I have some comments on Doomfist as well.
Say it.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? What else you got?
Besides that, I've been working a lot.
Yeah.
So, besides that, I went down to New York City, so there wasn't much games being played down there. Just a lot of doing other extraneous things.
You didn't meet up with Teddy, though, did you?
No, I didn't meet with Teddy at all. Me and Deanna were on a very tight time frame.
The three of us, just a little... Wow. The words, they're just not here. They don't come out sometimes.
That's right, the three of us.
The three of us should get together.
And go to New York City?
Sometime.
Yeah.
Preferably when it's warm.
Yeah.
Because it's a beautiful time of year to do this.
I agree.
It was fun. It's not a long drive.
It's not. Me and Deanna actually did not drive
all
the way down. We drove from here in Plattsburgh down to Rensselaer Station in Albany, and then we took the Amtrak into the city and just went straight into Penn.
Yep. That's how I did it my first time.
That made it a lot easier for us to just kind of appear in the thick of it instead of paying $50 toll booths on the Washington State Bridge.
Did you have to take cabs all the time?
No. Actually, we didn't even take a cab the whole entire time. We ended up... Fun fact, now you're probably going to say, like, oh, it's impossible, but we actually ended up walking 30 miles.
Yeah.
In the day and a half that we were down there.
You can put on some...
It was pretty insane. We took the train one time, and that was to go from Central Park to Times Square. But, yeah.
Do you mind, I can overlay some pictures while we're... No. I can overlay some pictures while we're talking about this.
Yeah.
If that's cool with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that's cool.
I can give you some pictures, too.
I saw some on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was you or her that put them on.
It was probably her. I don't put up a lot of pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, we're not going to stop it yet. We're just going to keep it going. What else you got going on? I actually haven't seen you in person since we recorded pretty much.
Yeah.
Last episode.
Shit.
Anything else?
Not really. Like I said, haven't been playing much besides Zelda, Zodiac Age, and Crash. Yeah, I mean that's really pretty much it. Just been doing a lot of work-related stuff.
Yeah.
Lately too. A lot of work going on.
So I've been playing some things that you're interested in and some things you're not. First of all, I spent my wife doesn't watch this, it's alright. I spent half my paycheck on League of Legends lately because I totally fell back into it. When I first got my gaming PC and I kind of became one of the Master Race members, I got into League because League is League and it's fucking huge, and it was something I could never play as a console guy. Played a lot when I first got my PC last year.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't really gotten into it since, but now I've returned. It's actually changed a lot. But now, I know people in real life who I didn't know played it. So they kind of taught me the nuances about it and, taught me different things on the maps that I didn't understand. I know you don't play, but if people play League at home, they understand what I'm talking about. So I really got an appreciation for League that I didn't have before. And I got fucking good. So, actually spent money on... Okay, so on League, there's Riot Points and Influence Points. Influence Points you can earn just by playing the game.
Yep.
And you can buy everything in the game other than skins. Riot Points you spend real money on, and you can buy a lot of stuff except for runes. But the main thing that people buy with real money and Riot Points are the skins. So I got 2 really cool skins for my boy, Master Yi. And the skins range from $5 to $20 fucking dollars. So I got some good stuff with him. I also, what the fuck was it? Let me look at my notes. Oh, and also part of my paycheck went to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which I know you have an appreciation for as well.
I have a small appreciation for.
Oh, I've been pretty hardcore about it lately. That's the new hotness. In the PC landscape, at least. It got mentioned at E3. Was it E3, the E3 episode or last one?
It was the Xbox.
Yeah.
The Xbox presentation.
Yeah, they talked about
it. Xbox.
Well, they need to shape it up a little bit before they bring it to consoles because it's in early access. But and we're going to talk about that a little bit today too. But man,
I have a pretty hefty criticism of it.
Yeah, I mean it's not perfect by any means, but
And I mean, this probably should be for when we get to that actual section, so I kind of want to hold it back because...
Yeah, I was just saying that I played it a lot. I got to number 11. Last night was the closest I got. I got close a couple times. And when you get down to...
I got to 5 before. And it's so heartbreaking.
Yes,
when
it's devastating. Last night, I mean, I was manned up. I had the fucking Jason mask, I had the trench coat, everything that everybody wants. I was killing people and taking it off of them. I had 3 or 4 kills a couple times, which is a lot for a match of Battlegrounds. And I had all this shit on. And I had every weapon with the 2-scope and the 4-scope, 4-time scope. I had it all fucking situated. So then I'm trying to do it when the circle gets really small, the battle area.
Yeah.
I was trying to time it so that I wouldn't go immediately when it go down. You gotta wait for the second the blue wave to really kill people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your PlayStation shut off. It's, that's right. We'll get in a minute. I was trying to wait until the last possible moment because every time I get down to like 10, 15, or 20 players, people will do that and they'll fucking wait for you to run out, thinking you're gonna panic and like not try to run out the timer. And every fucking time there's one asshole that gets me. And like last night, I was number 11. I almost made the top 10 and got nailed.
Yep.
Are we in frame?
Yes, we're in frame and we're
ready
to
to go. Welcome back to the Leftover Bands podcast. Alright, alright, you ready?
Yes.
So here's the framework for tonight. This is what we're gonna do. You may have noticed that Samus is in a little bit of a provocative pose here. She's celebrating because we had a hell of a conversation a minute ago.
Oh, we were totally not in frame, just to be 100% honest with you. Sorry about that. But
right.
now we're back in
We're
frame,
good now?
everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted to double check.
Yeah. We'll probably keep that in.
Oh, fuck.
We can just assume that things are fucked up. More technical difficulties. No,
I
Samus.
wouldn't call it technical difficulty. I'd call it a flavor.
It's the flavor of the Leftover Pants.
And that was the flavor of the Leftover Fans podcast. Another technical difficulty.
Go figure, we had another TD. We just had the coolest conversation about Final Fantasy XII, Final Fantasy XV,
We sure as shit did. Let's do it again.
and Crash Bandicoot. Did you want to start over?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do it again. There's no point.
Final Fantasy XII, the remastered, the Zodiac Age.
The Zodiac Age.
Tell me about it, bro.
I think it's pretty good. It's got a lot going for it.
God damn it, I can't believe we have to do this again.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
We do, but
it's important.
it is important.
Did it cut off? No. Is it good?
Sorry, podcast. Oh, shit. This is going to be a good segment.
Is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Fucking shit.
Make sure it's recording.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it sure is. Hi. Okay. So, I was making sure it was straight.
Okay.
And level. But from like an audio perspective, audio is pretty good. In the PS2 release, it was compressed to shit. So in this version, it's a little bit more full. The music is a little bit better, especially if you're the type that likes to listen to it with a headset on.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds a lot better.
You said the cinematic sequences still looked very PS2 era.
Yeah. As far as the cinematics go, they very much look like just upscaled PS2 cinematic cutscenes. Not anything to really write home about, unfortunately. I was hoping that they would make them pop a little bit more and give them some more color, but that didn't really end up happening. It just kind of looks like PS2 stuff upscaled, which is not great.
Yeah.
And then as far as like the general graphics go, the graphics, very polygonal. I mean, they still look like a PS2 game, but the textures and everything look very crisp, so it's nice to look at.
So it's very much a remaster.
It's
Typical
very much,
remaster.
it's a typical remaster.
But it has the Japanese exclusive class system and...
Yep, it has the Japanese exclusive Zodiac content, so you can choose, like, job classes, which is honestly my favorite part about any Final Fantasy game that has job classes, is just the job class system. It kind of gives your characters a defined role, instead of having to deal with this bullshit that was like in Final Fantasy X, where you just go all over the fucking sphere grid.
Yeah.
And all the characters kind of did like everything, and it just kind of pissed me off, and I couldn't connect with the character as much because they made every role, so not one character was more important than another for a particular situation. For instance, in Final Fantasy III, like there's some fights where the white mage is like the really important character, like when you're fighting undead creatures Like, you use Cure on them to hurt them.
Yep.
Like, that's your white mage's thing. Yeah. Like, that's what they're going to do. And you have to protect that white mage. And that's part of the strategy of, like, the game or the dungeon or whatever. Mm-hmm. In Final Fantasy X, it was just like, everybody can do everything, so fuck it. So you didn't feel like you were ever stressed, really. I mean, I think...
it's hard for me to think back.
Luna was it Luna? Oh, yeah, jeez. Luna.
Yuna.
Yuna. Then who was the black mage chick in Final Fantasy X? There were a couple characters that were very kind of unique in that respect. I know Yuna was kind of like the white mage.
Yeah, she was the white.
Then there was I want to say her name's Luna or something like that, but I don't know.
We'll figure it out. But corrections for next week.
She was very much like a black mage and stuff like that, but there was like Tidus and then the blue guy.
I'm sorry, did you say Tidus?
Tidus. I don't know.
Something like that.
But, there was him and the blue guy and the dude with the ball.
Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. We're going too far back.
Yeah, those guys felt very much the same, so I'm glad that we have a job class system this time.
How was Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Collection?
It's pretty good. I do like it a lot. There's a lot of people that have been bitching online about the controls.
Do you have something to say to them?
I do.
Go ahead.
For the people that are bitching about the controls in the Crash Bandicoot Insane Collection, specifically for Crash 1, I don't know if you ever played Crash 1, but if you actually played Crash 1, the controls were not good in that either. So if you were going into it with the mindset that the controls were going to be better than the original when they're making a remaster of a 20-year-old game, 22-year-old game,
yeah,
they're not any better. I'm sorry to say, but Crash 1 still sucks controls-wise.
Yeah.
I know it's slightly different, but regardless, it still sucks. Crash 2 and 3, really good. Doesn't make Crash 1 unplayable in any way, shape, or form, but it's a lot harder of an experience when you're going back to Crash 1.
My understanding, I guess the popular opinion is that Crash 2, the Wrath of Cortex, was like the most popular one and the most refined. I remember 20 years ago, Crash 3, Warped being my favorite.
Warped is great.
But I'm looking forward to popping it back in after all these years and trying to see now with a more refined attitude and eye for the industry.
Yeah.
And platformers especially, to see what I feel it's like today.
You know what I'm also, I have to give some major props to Vicarious Visions.
As you should.
I was proven wrong, and it's no secret that I'm not very respectful of Skylanders. it's very just normal knowledge.
And I
he absolutely loves
the Skylanders franchise.
I hate it to death. I think it's just a cash grab system.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
but I enjoy it.
I think that was solely the plan for that. But Vicarious Visions truly showed off their actual chops on this one. Like, they did an actually good job.
They gave it some love and respect.
I think if Activision used Vicarious Visions for something along the lines of their own IP that was kind of platformer-wise, and it didn't have to be shoehorned into a certain market, I think they could actually do something pretty good.
I guess there's a Spyro Easter egg that kind of hints.
There's a hint at it, and
what is it? Just tell me.
I don't know.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess there's a hint that they're doing a Spyro remaster next, which I would be into.
Everybody's losing their minds over. And I'm excited for it too, especially if Vicarious Visions does the same thing they did with Crash, with Spyro.
Let me just say this. I know you're not a Skylanders fan. A lot of people our age aren't. Well, either of our ages. But I love Skylanders. I grew up with games like Donkey Kong Country, which at the time, that trilogy was everything to me, and it still is. But the animation, the character animations, and the
over-exaggerated...
yeah, that too, but just the fact that, one, the character models were unlike anything anybody had ever seen at the time. Mm-hmm. Kind of like CGI style side-scroller, which was on the SNES, just wasn't done at that point. And the PlayStation was just coming out when Donkey Kong Country 2 came out. Anyway, the love and respect that went into creating these, well, recreating a lot of old characters and then making new Donkey Kong characters many years after the old arcade games came out. It revitalized that franchise, and Nintendo gave it so much TLC, and it was very much its own unique item. Whereas when Skylanders came out, they revitalized the Spyro franchise. And yeah, you can say whatever you want about the toys going on, and it's a cash grab, and it is. But man, the core game, it's basically a dungeon crawler, just kiddied up. And it has that same, the cool writing, and the cool sound effects, and the cool, unique voiceovers, and all the characters, the non-playable characters, and the actual toys. They all had so much love put into them, where there's hundreds of them now where you could just have your favorite character and they were all forward compatible with the next sequel that would come out, and those games really reminded me of Donkey Kong Country in the love that I had for it back in the 90s. But yeah, I mean, those games are highly underrated. They are not ultra sophisticated or anything, but it's very much like a kid version of Diablo with toys. But it's a dungeon crawler, and it's cool, and all the armors and the currencies that you get in the old games you could carry over the next year when the next one would come out. And the toys looked really cool. I love that franchise. I wish they'd bring it back. I don't think it's going to survive past last year, though.
Yeah, if they skipped a year, that means it's probably not.
It's probably done, yeah. The sales have went down every year consecutively since Giants, I believe. Giants or Swap Force.
Mm-hmm. And that was 2 or 3 games in, so.
Yep.
What's coming up next, Justin?
Let's take a look. Corrections. Are we still recording?
Yep. And Corrections is going to be coming up next.
Corrections. There are none.
Whoa!
I know. We were actually kind of somewhat perfect last week. Last month.
Somewhat perfect.
I didn't have anything pointed out to me. I didn't watch the episode every second, frame by frame, but I don't remember anything that fucked up on.
There were no comments?
Nothing. I didn't get anything pointed out.
Even a particular individual that rhymes with Schmavid Schmuller?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing
wow,
from the peanut gallery that is David Fuller.
You should have some clapping.
I will. I'll put that in.
Yeah.
It'll be hilarious. Okay, quick hits. The Castlevania television series is live on Netflix.
And it's pretty good.
Did you watch it?
I did.
I didn't watch it yet.
I fell asleep on the last episode for some reason, which sounds like a bad sign, but I was pretty tired. But I watched it all in one sitting.
Well, there's 4 episodes. It's 100 plus minutes total.
Yeah.
The reason for that is a lot of people don't realize it wasn't a design choice. It was actually a made-for-direct-to-video film. Mm-hmm. And they ended up cutting the deal with Netflix and then chopped it up into 4 quick episodes. Yeah. So they already announced season 2. It's going to be an extended season.
It's going to be full length.
Like an actual TV show. But yeah, apparently it's pretty good. It's based on Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, which coincidentally was my second favorite.
I'm really excited for it. I think Konami has a thing there.
They could revive the franchise, so definitely.
They have a fucking thing there.
Yep.
If they decide to do the same thing with Silent Hill, this could be a launch point for them.
For their revitalization.
They really could do it. And I don't even want to start ranting about it, but it's probably something I could do.
Well, I'm excited. It's well documented that I wanted to go through the Castlevania games again, because I always loved them and have an appreciation for them. Trump hands. But, believe me. But, never beat any of them, actually, I don't think. But I have most of them, even the spin-offs and everything. But anyway, it's, Castlevania 3 is actually a prequel to the original, for those that don't know. So, storyline-wise, I think the second season will probably be Castlevania 1? I don't know, maybe a correction for next week. Second season confirmed, we just talked about that.
Yep.
Second thing, StarCraft Remastered in 4K. Releases August 15th for $14.99, and it exists in the Blizzard ecosystem on the app. No longer called Battle.net. Diablo 3 Rise of the Necromancer pack is available now. Why I had it down there, I have no clue. It's $14.99.
Did you write that a long time ago?
Yeah. You and I gotta get back into that.
I haven't even bought the Necromancer.
Neither have I. But we can do it. We can do our Necros together, and there's a double XP weekend coming up on Saturday. They don't do double XP weekends ever. That's on top of all your XP bonuses already.
Yeah.
You're not interested?
Well,
Fucking, we had a blast with Diablo.
here's the problem.
Do tell, and then we'll continue.
The problem with the Necromancer is I've looked into, like...
Don't play the Necromancer.
His moveset.
I'll do the Necromancer.
But I want to be a Necromancer.
Solved.
If I'm going to play Diablo, I want to be a Necromancer.
Okay.
So there's 3 things that, like, really are preventing me from playing Diablo right now.
Okay.
1, I play on an ultra-wide, and it looks like garbage.
No, I fixed it, remember? I could tell. I did it again.
Okay.
I went into the fucking... What's the text file?
You mean, like the .ini file?
Yes, I just went in there and fucking edited it, and it fixes it. Just save it. I fixed it. I did it again the week before the... Dude, it seems like a stupid solution, but it works.
I haven't messed with the ini file because, I mean, obviously didn't want to fuck with it. But, I mean, it's widely known that you can edit ini files for, like, Elder Scrolls and stuff like that, and then it just fixes it. But I didn't want to do that because it's a Blizzard game, and Blizzard games have weird, like, cheat protection on it, so I didn't want to tempt the curse.
I've been doing it for months. Every time there's an update, though, it'll reset it.
Yeah.
So, because I have an ultra-wide, too, and it looks like shit if it's stretched out.
That, and the Necromancer looks a lot like a Witch Doctor.
Yeah, he was kind of the next gen.
It's basically a Witch Doctor, which is kind of... We're
going to play it, and we'll be back, and we're going to talk about the Necromancer pack, because I feel like we're left out of the
I'll give you some feedback.
On this.
I will invest the $15 in it, but I'll give you some feedback when I play it. But
I might get it tonight. Credit card.
Is there money raining from the screen right now?
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Capital One.
We need to stop describing all the cool shit we're gonna do, because then it's not funny. Alright, it's like the fire last time. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have fire, and I'm like, 8-bit fucking fire underneath, because I couldn't find anything cool. Alright, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Remember when they said it wouldn't get a standalone release?
Yeah, and it did.
It's getting one.
And it's $40.
June 27th. Well, I did write this a long time ago. June 27th on PS4, July 27th on Xbox One. $40. That doesn't include any of the DLC. That's another $20.
What? Really?
Yeah, that's really shameful, but...
What a bunch of fucking scam artists.
That's an asshole move.
Shit, Activision.
For a fucking game that came out 10 years ago, they're reselling the DLC pack. It's not even in the fucking remastered mode. You have to pay for it again.
Oh my fucking god,
right.
You shameful bastards.
Here, we're getting into the news now. The full release for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which was originally announced for October, it's been delayed until Q4 2017, which basically is the end of March 2018.
You mean by full release?
Like the full, not
early access.
Not
version?
early access, yeah. It's got a lot of work to do.
The developer actually on his Twitter said that he guarantees that the game will be done in 6 months.
He actually said that a couple months ago. It was just making the news now.
Yep.
And when that made the news, he came out and delayed. Because he's like, we really wanted it done by October, which would mark the 6-month early access.
Fucking liar.
Yeah, it happens.
Just as a heads up, I do not trust early access games unless you know for a fact that you are going to love this game regardless. Do not buy an early access game for $30. It is literally a scam.
I wanted to talk about this. I go back and forth with it. By the way, this 2-man thing we got going is actually working out really well.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good.
Teddy, man, you're fired. No. That was mean.
It's really mean. He's got some shit going on, Justin. You fucking asshole. Oh,
alright.
Keep it Chinesey, folks.
Go to China Cafe, alright? It's awesome. Seriously, that's not a joke, it's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to talk about that actually because this is the first early access game I got, I think. I don't know. $30. I very much enjoy it for what it is. I feel that you have to put yourself in a certain frame of mind, though, when you're buying an early access game, you know it's going to be buggy as fuck, and you're contributing to the development process.
You have to look at it as like a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe.
It's rough, though. I mean, the game is a lot of fun and has a lot of potential, but man, that is fucking rough sometimes.
Yeah. Where the real trouble comes in is that it's a different mindset than contributing to something that you're going to receive in 6 months, because when you contribute to something that you're going to receive in 6 months to a year, 2 years, whatever, you know you're going to get an absolutely finished product at the end of that, and then you have the right to be mad at the end of that if it's not
Mighty
what they
number 9.
promised. Yeah, Mighty number 9, ukulele, all that shit. But when it comes to early access, there's this certain gateway where you break down that barrier between you and the developer. They already have a product that they deemed purchasable, and there's no defined time that developer has to come out of early access, which I think is the most controversial part. I wouldn't feel so bad about contributing to early access games if I knew it was going to be fucking done within 6 months. But there's games that perpetually stay in early access for years, and you get nothing out of it. If it just doesn't come out of early access, you're fucked.
Kind of like David Fuller, we used to play PlayStation Home like religiously, and enjoyed it. And I spent a lot of money on that. Dave didn't, but it never came out of beta, ever. Oh no! Actually, it did, and it got a couple of bronze trophies about 6 months before it shut down. But anyway, I somewhat disagree. The argument is always, well, it's optional. You can wait. You know what I mean?
You can.
If you want, the thing is, I got sucked into PlayerUnknown.
You can also wait if you contribute to a GoFundMe or.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a different pay model, different development cycle. I think it's cool that we live in an era where you can do this. I mean, back in the day, sometimes we'd get, on PS1 we get demo discs. That would be the earliest we could play a game, or playing the fucking kiosk at Walmart or something.
See,
but
that option to choose is cool, but there's no guarantee you're getting a finished product at the end of that.
That's same with Kickstarter.
Same thing, but at least there's an expectation with Kickstarter that there's ramifications. If not, because people can request their money back.
Can you?
Yeah. You can legitimately do that. I believe on Kickstarter and GoFundMe. If they don't deliver on their project, you make a claim back to Kickstarter and back to GoFundMe, and
we're kind of in the Wild West with that.
It's very much an unregulated thing that's going on. But
speaking of which, awesome. I did want to mention, because I'd like it if you join me. Actually, there's something coming out that you can pre-order, and there's different tiers of pre-order for this MMO that's gaining a lot of positive traction right now, called Wild West Online. Have you heard about this?
I saw your Facebook share on it.
Yeah. I knew about it before then, but man, that video of it looked really cool. Basically what it is an MMO in the Wild West.
Neat. Huh? It looks neat.
Yeah.
But I'm not sold on it.
Well, you get early access to it if you pre-order. I forget when I think it's the end of the summer when the actual release date is planned for. But it's basically an MMO set in like a Red Dead Redemption style world. And man, for somebody like me or my buddy Eric that's been waiting for a Red Dead sequel, they're going to take advantage of Red Dead 2's delay if it releases at the end of the summer.
Thanks for the free marketing, Rob.
But it's kind of cool, like I was going to say about PlayerUnknown's and Wild West Online, is that if you pre-order, there's different tiers like I said, but basically if you pre-order or you play in the early access period, you get a lot of extra skins or clothing items or gun skins and stuff like that they promise will never be released.
Obtainable. Afterwards.
Never be obtainable post-release. Which is kind of cool, so you're like a founder. I like when they do things like that. I just want to put that in there. But Wild West Online looks pretty neat, in my opinion. Okay, couple more, and we're going to get to the big stuff.
Well, we should probably cut off this segment.
I'm almost there. We'll just
count
right through it.
Okay.
Scott Cawthon.
Kaufman?
Cawthon. He's the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah, cancels Freddy 6.
I'm reading the just fucking the news. Anyway, yeah. He's kind of notorious for. Well, he's the creator of the Five Nights at Freddy's series, which is a pop culture phenomenon.
A highly super spooky. kids game for...
It's a little creepy, man.
You know,
it's pretty creepy.
It's the popular to scream at game.
Yes.
Nowadays.
It's streamable. Well, anyways, I guess he was working on Five Nights at Freddy's 6, but he says it's canceled. I'm not working on it anymore. But then he added in another tweet, he said, I would never play a prank on you guys, would I? Wink face. So he is notorious, apparently, for doing like a lot of not augmented reality, but what do you call it? The ARGs?
Yeah, ARG is like
they did
like an integrated
Symmetra.
puzzle.
Or not Symmetra, with the... Sombra.
It's like an integrated puzzle, so he puts out hints like websites, and people have to look in like the code and stuff like that.
There was actually one with that franchise where it was a mistake because he was so notorious for doing this type of stuff. He put in a line of code randomly in this fake backdrop of code at one point. It legitimately didn't mean anything. The fans got together and they looked at it as coordinates on the globe. The coordinates actually went to this random pizza parlor in like Indianapolis. In the middle of fucking just completely random. It was an honest mistake. And that pizza parlor gets fucking phone calls daily, to this day, asking if it's the pizza parlor from Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a true story. But that was before Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was announced. It was in a trailer or some shit, I don't know. But, yeah, apparently Five Nights at Freddy's 6 is delayed. We'll see about that. A couple more things. Destiny 1 veterans. Bungie is going to reward us, at least somebody like me,
for your
hours, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of hours and hundreds of dollars in the Destiny franchise. How are they going to reward us? With a player emblem.
Oh my fucking god, such trash.
In Destiny 2. Just want to put that in there.
That's so fucking bad. Just to throw it out there, if you invested any money, and this is going to be really, like, I'm going to catch some shit for it, I'm sure. But if you invested any money, and well over the amount, near the amount of hours as this gentleman here, a player emblem is a fucking slap in the goddamn face.
Right in the dick.
Right in the fucking face.
But
Activision's big fucking dick.
Well, it's Bungie. I mean, it's Activision, but it's Bungie's decision.
It's Activision Bungie.
But it's their decision.
They're not owned yet.
But that's flat out completely predictable as well. Like, I fully, honestly, I think I made a joke to Dave. I said, watch, we'll get an emblem or something.
Wow.
Anyway, speaking of Destiny, a Glacier White PS4 Pro was just announced. It'll come with a physical version of Destiny 2 with the expansion pass, the first expansion pass at least. It'll also launch on September 6th alongside Destiny 2. But the fucking Destiny 2 doesn't take it. They've already announced it doesn't take advantage of the PS4 Pro.
The milking in everybody.
So what's the point? Whatever.
Of it coming out on PS4 Pro?
Alright, secondly, I'm gonna put
fucking milking.
Before we get cut off, I'm gonna put the graphic up as well. Europe. You know how we're getting a decent Metroid Return of Samus Returns?
We got shit on compared to Europe's Collector's Edition?
We're getting a special edition with a CD, which is neat.
And Europe's getting like a fucking statue or some shit.
Europe's getting a fucking steelbook that looks like
a Metroid cartridge.
The Metroid 2 Game Boy cartridge with the Metroid 2 Return of Samus box art on it. You get a fucking keychain. You get a, I don't know, some other shit. You get a cool box, and you get a 25-song soundtrack CD. Oh, and a fucking art book. What the fuck, Europe? That's pretty neat. That's going to be a legit collector's item. People are going to try to import that motherfucker.
We're going to end off on What the Fuck, Europe? And what's coming up next, Justin?
The big stuff.
The big stuff.
The big stuff for the week. Alright, what's next? Are we in frame?
You said good? The big stuff.
The big stuff is what I'm going to call the big news items for the week from now on.
The big stuff.
2 things, as theorized, as predicted. Nintendo announced a Super NES Classic Edition.
Shit, it's been that fucking long.
It's been that long since we've done an episode.
Holy fuck.
So we don't have to talk about it long, but I do want to say some things, because the Super Nintendo was my childhood. It launches September 29th for $79.99. Pre-order is alive all over the world and sold out, except for in the United States, where they don't exist. So line up on September 28th and get ready for 6 o'clock in the morning.
Good fucking luck, and don't get mugged.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll probably honestly be there too. I'm just gonna put this out there. Holy fucking shit, Nintendo! You couldn't have done any better with the lineup on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, I disagree.
Holy shit! Star Fox 2, Final Fantasy VI.
Dude!
What the fuck?
Doing the news!
Boom!
Get in there! Alright, hey,
Looks
no,
like we
there's...
have to talk about it.
Yeah, we got a lot. So yeah, 21 games, 2 controllers comes bundled with.
Oh my fucking god, so good.
It uses classic controller connections. There's actually a little flip down on it. It looks like it takes the traditional Super NES controllers. It does not. It's like a little panel that flops down.
Oh, okay, sure.
So you can still use it with your Wii and all that stuff.
You can use it with your Wii.
Anyway, yes, the 21 games.
With the Wii, just use the
I would say 18 or 19 of those games are some of the best games ever made. Super NES is my favorite console of all time. I grew up with it. That's the golden age of gaming. Yeah. So, oh shit, I don't have the list here. Let me bring it up real quick. My complaint is that there are some big omissions.
Like what?
Hang on a minute.
Super Mario World's in it.
Well, Super Mario World's the greatest game ever made.
In your opinion.
I'm pretty sure it's a fact of life.
Link's Awakening is in it.
Where is...
It's not Link's Awakening. Link to the Past.
Link to the Past. There you go. Okay, so here is what is in it. Contra 3 The Alien Wars, which I actually haven't played because it's actually kind of rare.
I feel like that one probably could have been swapped out.
Oh, that's a big game. That's a big game. And it was a lifetime SNES exclusive. Okay, Donkey Kong Country, all-time classic. Earthbound, all-time classic. Final Fantasy III, now known as Final Fantasy VI, all-time classic. Many say the greatest Final Fantasy of all time.
F-Zero Superstar, oh my fucking...
F-Zero. Kirby Superstar, 8 games in 1.
Right here, it's literally worth buying.
Kirby's Dream Course, we can kick that one out.
I could really, honestly, care less about it, but I don't even care about that. By that point, I'm sold. I don't even give a fuck.
Agreed, but let's continue. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Yes.
Many, including myself, think it's the greatest Zelda game of all time. Mega Man X. Many, not myself, think it's the greatest Mega Man of all time.
I'm not a huge fan of Mega Man.
Yeah, you're not a Mega Man guy.
I appreciate it, but I'm not good at it, and I don't like it.
The Secret of Mana, all-time classic. Street Fighter II Turbo Hyper Fighting. Many consider it the greatest Street Fighter version of all time. True factoid.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese version, the Super Famicom Classic, doesn't come with Street Fighter II Turbo Hyper Fighting. It comes with Super Street Fighter II, which doesn't have any of the hyper modes in it.
That's really bad.
It comes with the extra 4 characters, but it doesn't have the hyper mode. So it's kind of slow and weird. Super Castlevania 4.
It must be like a localization thing or something like that.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Ultra difficult. Super Mario Kart. What else can you say? Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, which is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. I still, to this day, have music stuck in my head from that game. I haven't played it in like 15 years. Super Mario World, the greatest game of all time. Super Metroid, which many consider the greatest game of all time.
And Super Punch-Out.
And Super Punch-Out and Yoshi's Island. 2 more. Star Fox with the Super FX chip, and we talked about this on one of our first episodes, wondering like, hey, I wonder if they'll put Star Fox in it because it's never been on the Virtual Console in any capacity. But the big one is Star Fox 2. Okay?
Literally could not have made a better choice.
That's the selling point of the system, really, because this is not for the casuals.
And that has single-handedly brought the collector's value of this little tiny console to astronomical levels.
Well, let's talk about why this is a big deal.
Okay.
Because Star Fox 2, and I was alive to read about it back in 1995, 4 or 5, when it was in the Press Republican at one point. Screenshots were in GamePro and Nintendo magazine, Nintendo Power magazine.
It was in the Press Republican?
Yeah, they used to have a gaming section actually. This dude and his son would write about games, put in cheat codes and stuff.
What the fuck, Press Republican?
Yeah.
Do it again.
Pretty neat.
We'll write.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We'll call it.
It was a big
Press Republican.
Yeah, Press Republican version.
Calling you out,
in
Press
touch.
Republican?
Holy shit, though. The game was never released in America. It was never released, period, officially. So this is a very non-Nintendo thing to do. And secondly, the game was like 95% finished in 96. It was ready, or in 95, it was ready to launch. But it was Miyamoto's decision. He decided to cancel the entire project and never release it because
He didn't want it to diminish the N64's capabilities.
that and the PlayStation and the Saturn were on the horizon. The Saturn was already out, I think. So the 3D capabilities of other consoles were already kind of outshining the SNES. And they didn't want it to look worse in comparison. So eventually we got Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
Star Fox 2 was never released, but there are a lot of like fan-made cartridges and ROMs that went all over the place.
That were strictly unofficial, to throw that out there.
Yes, and the lead designer, I forget the guy's name, doesn't want fans to play those versions. He's very pleased that after 22 years, it's finally the official full version that the public has never played, is actually getting an official release for Nintendo. Very un-Nintendo thing to do.
And having a legitimate copy of Star Fox 2 is the reason why this console's worth it, even if you hated all the other games.
Yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen how good the actual game is. It is 22 years old. And Star Fox 1, pretty rough, but it's a nostalgic piece of history.
And it's going to be one of those things where even if you own it and you don't like the game, it's still worth having it.
Yeah, I mean, as if the NES collect...
As a Nintendo collector, it's a big deal.
You know what I did?
Big fucking deal.
I don't know if we talked about this on camera. So I eventually did sell my NES Classic Edition. Put it up for sale the week before this magical announcement came out. Now it's a line of products, okay? I could have taken it back. I still sold it on Amazon for $180. A decent price for it. It's cheap for what they're going for now. I put it through the Xbox One X. Or will when the pre-orders go up. I kind of regret doing it. I have all those games in cartridge form anyway, but now it's a line of products. As a Nintendo collector, it's tough.
Imagine having your miniature Nintendo collection.
Yeah, I have to get the SNES Classic. Strictly one because
Star Fox.
I love those games, but yeah, Star Fox 2. Okay, well, we talked about that, but here are some big time omissions that I thought, at least, I mean, there's less games in this, I get it. There's a lot of licensed games in those.
That's probably why they're charging more, honestly.
Yeah, and they're some of the greatest games of all time, but
I think it was well worth it.
there's a lot of reasons why some of these can't be in here, but NBA Jam, whether you're an NBA basketball fan or not,
I don't think they could afford the NBA.
Probably not, but that game was an absolute classic. That was an iconic Super Nintendo game.
Because, now, weird question, I've never played NBA Jam. Does it have, like, Michael Jordan and stuff like that in the game? Like, are they represented? Because
yeah, Jordan played at that time.
It'd be like a Tech Mobile thing, where they would have to take out all the people's names and shit.
And they're digitized. It was their digitized faces,
right?
Kind of like the chibi versions.
So
yeah, you're right.
I could see how that would be incredibly tough because they'd have to go through NBA, and then they would have to go through all these players.
Yeah, like I said, there's a couple reasons why these aren't out. But Earthworm Jim, not a great game, but it was
it's a classic,
huge release at the time. Super Double Dragon. I mean, Double Dragon has went through so many different owners. There's probably a reason why that's not there.
Trigger.
Chrono Trigger is the big one. I don't like Chrono Trigger, but that is fucking. There's Square games on this console too. So
literally, where is Chrono Trigger?
I mean, fucking Chrono Trigger. Come on.
I'm not a big fan of Chrono Trigger, but where the fuck is Chrono Trigger?
Yeah, that's a big omission. That's huge.
What the fuck?
Zombies Ate My Neighbors. A lot of fun. My personal absolute must, okay, is Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3.
No,
those, well, one's in there.
Oh,
one's in there, which is the weakest of the trilogy. For a lot of reasons, but fucking 2 especially was just one of the all-time great Nintendo games. My personal favorite is 3, but that came out like a month before the N64. Or around that time, whatever. Shit, like Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3, especially 2. I mean, they had Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3 on the NES Classic. I mean, shit. They have Mario World 1 and 2 on this. You can't have Donkey Kong Country 1 and not have 2 and 3.
How much more would it have costed you, Nintendo?
It's your own fucking game. Listen, that is unforgivable. I mean, this is still going to be huge, but Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3. Wow! Like, 2 of the biggest games of my fucking life. Anyway, Mortal Kombat 2 which the superior console version was on SNES because Mortal Kombat 1 didn't have blood on the Nintendo version.
Did it 2 have blood?
Yeah, it was like the perfect version of it back then outside of the arcade. Wow. And it was far superior to the Genesis version, which that was actually really big for Nintendo because they finally let their
baby have some blood on it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. That was a Konami class. That is one of the all-time greatest beat-em-ups.
Again, can't tell if that is just a fucking Konami conundrum.
That is, because now Ubisoft has the rights to those Ninja Turtles games. Yeah, so that...
What the fuck?
That's a big deal.
No Castlevania game on there, is there?
Yeah, Super Castlevania 4.
Oh, Super Castlevania 4 is on there?
Yeah, that's there was also Dracula X, which is an ultra-rare Super NES game.
Yeah.
Man, that would have been cool to have.
I thought it was
no,
Dracula
they put it out as Rondo of Blood. That might be a correction as well. But I know there's cartridges of it out there on Amazon. I don't know if it's official. I know that it goes for hundreds of dollars. I've never played it. I thought you were right because the PSP version of the Dracula X Chronicles had a port of it.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's weird. We'll look into that, but shit, that would have been a big addition as well. But yeah, so the SNES Classic. Anything else? No more thoughts. That's gonna be fucking huge.
Yeah, you pretty much expressed what I was feeling about it.
We might need to camp out somewhere. I mean, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's quite a few people that are going to be doing that.
Yeah.
I know of at least 2 people in my office that I work at that are going to be
no pre-order, so it's got to be. Holy shit! That's the end of September. Fuck.
That's going to be some fucking balls camping out there, man. That's stupid. It's going to be literally so stupid that people are going to get fucking hurt. I feel like there's going to be at least one fight in the Plattsburgh area.
We will bundle up. I mean, I'm legit. I'm gonna be there. We'll throw a leftover pants party outside a GameStop or something. But, dude,
if they even have that many, what if they open the fucking store and they have 6?
We gotta get to the front line. We did it for the Switch.
Yeah, we were the first ones to get our Switches.
Hey.
Yes.
So there's another big story, big stuff, and this is gonna be the meat of our podcast. There's a 25th hero in the Overwatch universe.
Yeah? What's his name?
Finally, after many months of rumors and little Easter eggs strewn throughout the Overwatch universe, Doomfist is finally... They didn't do their fucking ARG or whatever you call them this time for long.
They just were like, hey...
There's a fake news report, and then Doomwatch is on the PTR. Coming soon to the actual game. Holy shit. One, that's fucking huge. That Doomfist is the one character in the Overwatch lore that they've been talking about since the inception of the game. And now he's finally out.
Yep.
You say what you gotta say first, and then I've got something big to say after. You've used him.
Yeah. I've played as Doomfist a good deal, actually, on the PTR. And I have to say, he's a lot of fun. He's gonna be a character that takes quite a bit of practice. And
So is he a tank?
No.
Oh, he's not.
He's an offense, so he's the same as McCree and Genji and stuff like that.
How much HP does he have?
He has 250.
Oh!
But there are some key things that make him a very, very potent hero, in my opinion. He has his special ability, or not special ability, but ability, is called the best defense. So the more damage he deals, he gains shield for that damage that he deals. So say I punch you, I get shield for that. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
So he can get going on a fucking...
Rampage. Essentially. So... You full charge your punch, you hit a Roadhog, that Roadhog takes all the damage you dealt it, you get 100 fucking shield. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy.
That's kind of cool, actually.
And, I mean, obviously, 100 plus shield to a 250 health character is not a lot.
What's the max?
I have no clue what the max is, but
You can keep going up then.
I'm just assuming you can go further than that.
Yeah,
I don't know the exact numbers. I'm not claiming to, but like that is pretty fucking ridiculous. I mean, if you have a good combo like a Zarya ult where everybody's in one shot and you fucking try to punch into that, oh my
He's melee
god,
only,
it's
correct?
ridiculous. No.
Oh.
He's not melee only. He has knuckle gun or a fist gun.
Okay.
Basically he holds
On the
his
big
fist
arm
up.
or
Small arm.
Okay.
And he shoots like a shotgun out of his 4 knuckles. So he goes pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
And he gets 4 or 5 shots. I think he gets 5 shots. But they do pretty good damage. And basically it's you want to slam down, it slightly stuns them for a second, and you can go pew, pew, and like basically shotgun blast them in the face if you're good enough. Or you can slam down and then charge up your punch and punch them, and it's pretty ridiculous. You can pretty much kill like a lot of the lower health characters in one like combination if you're good.
That's cool.
Sounds
like my kind of guy.
Yep.
I have a complaint.
You don't like his design?
I think he looks like utter shit. Now, he's been hyped up for so long. Hear me out. He's been hyped up for so long. And you had those... He's basically, in the lore, he's the 3rd Doomfist. He's the Reclaimer.
Because he killed the previous one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're never gonna... Well, you would assume they're never gonna make it an appearance somehow. But, basically, you've seen his gauntlet all this time. Well, he got it back. I just pictured something so much more powerful and majestic. Like, I thought he was going to be like this macho Darth Vader, fucking Sauron, huge piece of armor, like this bad motherfucker. Like, he is the ultimate bad guy in the Overwatch universe so far.
No, he's really not. I mean,
he's not?
If you look at the lore...
I thought he was the leader of Talon.
He's one of the leaders of
I
Talon.
did notice that when they put out the game, yeah.
They
put out the
They said one of the leaders of Talon. Reaper was a leader of Talon.
That was never confirmed, though.
Yeah, it's confirmed. Look it up.
I know he worked for Talon.
No, he was one of the leaders of Talon.
Well, Doomfist is...
one of the leaders of Talon as well.
Yeah, but he's more...
He just has a legacy to who he is.
That's what it is. It was the expectation.
But
now,
in his lore, his family actually owns a cybernetics company, and that's why he gets the Doomfist company. After he loses his arm in the Omnic War.
I get the gauntlet. It looks cool, I guess. It's not the gauntlet. It's the dude. It has nothing... He's just a generic bald black guy.
Yeah.
It's not that he's black.
You're a generic bald white guy.
That's true, but I'm not fucking Doomfist, man. This is Doomfist. It's just this black guy. The only fucking cool thing about him that's not generic is his big gauntlet, which we already knew the gauntlet was coming. I mean... What country is he from?
He's from,
Zimbabwe?
Well, no. He comes from West Africa, so everybody assumes Congo, but...
Okay. Well,
I don't know the exact...
Yeah, I forget.
He practices the martial art of Dambe, which is a West Congo... martial art.
I just don't...
It's like boxing.
They fucking revealed him. Now, first of all, I also like the old school... Not old school, meaning a year ago. All the Overwatch shorts that were done in, like, Pixar quality CG.
Oh, no.
Those were awesome.
Here it comes.
Yep. The fucking anime one they did that everybody's, like, all about... One, it's not anime because it's from the West. I don't like anime anyway, but his fucking reveal, like, I was kind of let down. Like, they had this pretty badass scene where he's beating the shit out of fucking Tracer and Winston and Genji. But again, he's just this muscled out black guy who has this big fucking gauntlet, and it's like... Okay, look at the classic fucking villains from similar franchises. You got Shredder in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All decked out, got the fucking helmet, got the big claws and shit, that's awesome. Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. Fucking same thing, this badass fucking mask,
yeah,
the
but
deep
he's got a
voice.
big exposed chest.
Okay, but he still looks majestic as fuck. All right, you've got who else?
Yeah.
Darth Vader, the most classic of all classic villains. He just has this unique look to him. There's nothing generic about Darth Vader.
Bowser, he's got a big fucking shell.
Are you being sarcastic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bowser's alright, but
I'm being sarcastic.
then you have Doomfist, who's has this legacy before he was revealed, and he's just this dude with a gauntlet.
They built it up with Terry Crews's facade.
That's the other thing, yeah.
What happened.
Everybody thought he was going to be Terry Crews and be like, Doomfist power! And like all fucking one-liners and shit, and...
I think that's where part of the problem came in. Everybody was visualizing him as Terry Crews, not as Doomfist.
I 100% thought that was going to happen.
And I think that was a huge problem that the Overwatch community has, is that they were trying to take creative power from Blizzard. Because, let's be frank, I don't think honestly Terry Crews is as genuine as he leads on. And
I know that you don't like him.
This is coming from more of a personal standpoint. He doesn't seem as genuine as
he's calling you out, Terry Crews.
I wouldn't say calling him out, but I would say, I mean, if you want
tag him on Twitter,
if you want to, throw some chat in the DMs, that's whatever about Mr. Terry Crews. But I think it was more of a ploy for him to sell his furniture. That he has a furniture company. He plugs Old Spice. If you watched his Twitter video, he's standing in front of a fucking Overwatch screen with music in the background, and he's all hyped up, and he's like, wait for my announcement at E3, and he's got Old Spice sitting in the fucking back with Overwatch music, and then he gets revealed as a character in Crackdown 3? Excuse me? What the fuck?
I mean, Crackdown's awesome.
I mean, Crackdown's alright, but it's not Overwatch.
No, that's true. That is true.
And he kind of like really put on this fake kind of essence.
It's
like,
a salesman.
It's gonna be Overwatch.
Okay,
And then it's not Overwatch. And
for
Terry Crews.
To his credit, I know he's your favorite actor.
He's a shill, is what he is.
I don't really know much about him other than Old Spice, but he was a class act on Twitter immediately following the announcement. He basically said, hey, I still love Overwatch, I love Blizzard, I'm totally okay with them not casting me, still gonna play Overwatch. I thought that was pretty cool.
Whatever.
Okay, so try not to look at my phone. I know we're close to each other. It's alright. Hey, Quistacular 8? Is this number 8? I don't remember.
That was 7.
We're still gonna do Quistacular this week. Why are we gonna do it? 1, because everybody loves it. 2, because you can play at home. And 3, we almost didn't do it because we only have 2 of us here, and I know all the answers. I know how to make the questions. So what I was going to do was I was going to have you come up with 20 questions, and we were going to take our turns.
And do like 10 on each.
We didn't do that. So here's what we're going to do. Since Teddy in the guest spot doesn't have an opportunity to get points, do you want to sit out next week and you do the questions? Or do you want to say this? We got 20 questions. It'll only count as a win if you get 10 or more correct.
What was the first option again?
Sit out next week and you
Sit
do the
out next
questions and host the segment.
Well, couldn't we have the audience here decide? Couldn't we kind of have like a little Facebook poll? Because I could still play with the rules of if I get 10 or more, I can get a point, but only if they say that's
okay.
the thing.
And we'll reveal the tell us what you want. And we're gonna go ahead with Quistacular, and we'll see if it counts as a win.
Yep.
Depending on what the audience says.
Yeah.
Vote in the comments below.
Yep. Vote
on
in the
YouTube.
comments.
On YouTube. The YouTube comments.
YouTube. Yeah. I'm gonna play with the rules of 10 or more, I get a point. But if you guys want that to be a thing, because we want to make this as fair as possible, but at the same time.
But also the points don't matter, and it's just for fun. I don't think Teddy will be angry, but so
yeah.
Right now, to lead the season, you're ahead with 3. I have 2. Teddy has 1. The guest has 0. Maybe Joyce can change that next week or whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Quiztacular. Here we go. Question 1. This is one you have to think about. Let me be clear with my wording. Of the core 15 Final Fantasy games, how many have been remade or remastered to date? Now there's 15, so the options are 1 through 15. If one was remastered or remade more than once, still counts as one.
Is port a remaster or a remade?
There were a lot of ports, but I wouldn't unless it was actually remastered or remade.
Okay. How many of them were remastered or
Yes,
remade?
you don't have to say the game, but I have them listed here after.
So a port doesn't count.
A straight port doesn't count. So like Final Fantasy 1 came to PS1 later in Chronicles or one of the collections.
Yeah, like
that doesn't count.
Collection. Yeah.
Right, that won't count.
So, let's see. Final Fantasy 1 was definitely remade on the PSP. Final Fantasy 2 was definitely remade. Final Fantasy 3 was remade on the DS. Final Fantasy 4 was remade on the DS. There is an official PC remake of Final Fantasy V that's different from the PlayStation 1 version. I don't believe Final Fantasy VI was redone. Or Japanese 6, I guess. The Super Nintendo one with the Magitech shit. You know what I'm talking about.
6.
Yeah, 6. So I don't believe that one was actually remade or remastered.
So you're at 5.
Yep, I'm at 5. 7 is getting remade. Does that count?
No.
So just to date. Well, I mean, it definitely hasn't been then a remade.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not telling you if you're right or wrong.
Yeah. 8 hasn't. Those have just been straight up ports. There hasn't been a remake of 9. There's been a remake of 10, so that's 6 of them. Does 10 is sequels to core games, so like 10-2, does that count?
No, just the core numbered ones.
Okay. 11 hasn't because it's an MMO. 12 just got released, so that's 7. 13 got a PC port, but it didn't get officially remastered or anything like that. 14 is an MMO. Now here's a tricky question. Final Fantasy XIV got remade into A Realm Reborn. 2 different games. Does that count?
Nah, we won't count that.
Okay. And Final Fantasy XV obviously hasn't. So I'm going to say 8. Out of the core games.
You were at 7.
Was I at
7 or 8? I counted 7 for you.
1, 2, 3.
You said 1,
3,
2,
4.
3, 4, 5.
Yep.
10 and 12.
10 and 12.
That's
Yeah,
7.
so 7.
Okay.
I'll go with 7.
So the correct answer is 7. You're right. But you messed up. You're still getting the point. But it was 6 that had the Steam only hand-drawn remade sprites and everything. That was
Really?
6. People hate it. I think it looks fucking beautiful. I think it looks great.
Steam got a Final Fantasy
And it's
VI
only on Steam. But you can't use the fucking controller. Remember we were talking about that last time? It's dumb as shit. You can't use the controller. But
That's pretty
5, I don't...
5 did. I have it on my computer. It looks
It's a
like
remake?
it's different
Or a
from
remaster?
It's
No.
different from the PS1 version.
Okay, so then...
So it's a remake.
Then you are wrong. Then there's 8. Because I didn't know about 5.
But the answer on your thing says 7.
That is true, but you just corrected me.
Okay. I guess I don't get the point then.
So
Please decide in the comments if I get a point.
Here's the official lineup. 1 and 2, the PSP remasters. The reason why I got a PSP 2000. Those are beautiful. That was awesome. 3 and 4 had the 3D remakes on 3DS. 1 you did miss, well you didn't miss it, because I said the same game wouldn't count. They remastered 4 at the very ass end of the PSP's life cycle after the Vita came out in the Final Fantasy IV. It's the Final Fantasy IV Complete Collection. It's a trilogy.
And it has the after years in it.
Well, the After Years was part 2, but they actually made a sequel to that. that's in that collection. Yeah, I didn't know that. And then 6 on Steam, 10 on PS3, and 4.
Would the After Years be considered, since it's a part 2, a second part?
Yeah, but
so like
the first
Final
one,
Fantasy X 2, because that's like 10 part 2.
I didn't count those, but what I'm saying is, I'm just for completion's sake, I was saying you got the 4 3D remake, right? But they also remade it on PSP, they completely different, remastered it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So I guess I don't get the point then, because I corrected it.
If you're absolutely positive that 5 had a remaster,
I mean, I could
didn't
show
know.
you.
No, I believe you. Okay, so we'll say no point. Points don't matter anyway, whatever. Question 2. Sticking with the theme. The Final Fantasy series has spawned several spin-off series without Final Fantasy in the title. Name one of them.
Well, that could be like Secret of Mana.
Secret of Mana, correct. The other one that I could remember at least was Chocobo Dungeon. There's a whole slew of Chocobo Dungeon.
Those are really good games.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, Chocobo Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
Incredibly hard to find on the Wii, but it's good stuff.
Then I remember the old ones on PS1.
Well, yeah, there was the Chocobo Mystery Dungeons on PS1, but the most recent one is actually on the Wii, and it's pretty good.
Okay, so remember you have 1 point.
Yep.
Now remember we said some, because you're younger than Teddy, some would be more skewed toward you, not on purpose, but just you would know them more because you grew up with different games than we did.
Yeah.
And some would work in the reverse for Teddy or myself.
Yeah, like if it was an Atari question, Teddy would be like on point.
Yeah, or Commodore. I
like
wrote this a long time ago, so this just happened to be a question. Who was the first hero Blizzard added to Overwatch post-release?
The first hero?
Yes.
Would be Anna.
Yes. 2 points. True or false? Oh, another little factoid. I'm starting to make a lot of these multiple choice ones, giving you options. You or Teddy, or anybody, options so that they're not just open-ended questions.
It's not
sometimes.
as pigeonholed.
Sometimes we will, but for the sake of time to keep things moving, they'll be true or false, or they'll be ABCD type things. Okay, question 4. True or false, the entire game of Sonic and Knuckles on Sega Genesis was originally intended to be a part of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, but was turned into its own game due to time constraints?
That, I want to say, is true.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Yes, it is true.
Yeah. I was trying to make sure in my head that that's what it was.
Sega was trying to make Sonic 3 like the biggest game of all time, because they were still kind of in the lead at that point, but Nintendo was creeping back into the fight, and Sonic 2 was like their Sega's biggest game of all time. I think it still is, I'm not sure, but most successful game of all time. Sonic 3 was prophesized in that company to be like the end-all, be-all, but it was such a big project, and they were trying to rush it out before Yoshi's Island came out. I believe it was Yoshi's Island.
Sonic 3 is a beautiful game.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
Music's really good in it too. And they said, fuck, let's just cut the game in half. We won't put Knuckles as a playable character yet, but when we do Sonic and Knuckles, instead of calling it Sonic 4, they called it Sonic and Knuckles, and they had the lock-on technology, so you could put the cartridge into that cartridge, play through the old games as Knuckles.
Nice.
So you have
3 points.
3 points. You get 3.
Okay.
Final Fantasy spin-offs, Anna, and then Sonic.
Okay.
Question 5. What was the best-selling game on Atari's ill-fated Jaguar console? You have 4 choices. Wolfenstein 3D, Alien vs. Predator, Iron Soldier, or Zool 2?
I really have no idea, but I'm going to say Iron Soldier.
No, Alien vs. Predator.
Oh, okay.
That was a really cool, even though there was a bunch of games called Alien vs. Predator at this point, that was a really good FPS before the classic PC games came out by Rebellion. You have 3. Question 6. What was the final and most recent F-Zero game released in North America. You have 4 choices. F-Zero GX, F-Zero AX, F-Zero Maximum Velocity, or F-Zero GP Legend.
Now, by released in North America, do you mean released in North America on console? Or do you mean like in
on
arcade?
console.
Because I think there's an F-Zero arcade game too. Like arcade cabinet.
There is. We will say on console.
You're going to say on console?
On console.
Well, if it's on console, then I'm
on console meaning not in the arcade.
Yeah. Then I'm pretty confident it's GX, but...
No. It is F-Zero GP Legend, which was on Game Boy Advance. I should have worded it better. The one in arcades was AX.
Okay, because console, I was thinking like a box.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Not in arcades. AX was the one in arcades.
Okay.
That was...
Because I was going to say...
I think that was released after...
Yeah, because I was going to say one of those sounded like one of the arcade games.
Yeah.
But I wasn't 100% sure.
3 points. Question 7. The Extreme G series of futuristic racing games made its debut exclusively for what console? Sega Saturn, Nintendo 64...
Extreme G?
Yep. Nintendo GameCube or Game Boy Advance? Have you ever played Extreme G?
No.
I used to love the first 2.
Can I ask you a question about this, like a spelling bee?
Sure.
What genre of game?
It's a futuristic racing game.
Futuristic racing game.
It was basically like, you know Loco Cycle, or Loco, what's that called? That was on Xbox One. It was one of the first downloadable Xbox One games. Loco Cycle, I think it was called.
Something.
It's like a futuristic motorcycle where you go through all these neon-colored racetracks and shit. It's similar to F-Zero, but with motorcycles.
Extreme G?
Yeah. I would say take a guess if you don't remember it.
Saturn? GameCube?
No, it was N64. The first 2 were on N64, the third one was on GameCube, and...
I chose GameCube because G. I was like, G for GameCube?
It was, not Activision, it was... some company that went out of business. Anyway. 3. Question 8. Ready?
Yeah. Go for it.
Mega Man Legends, a PS1 classic RPG, action RPG, was once ported to Nintendo 64 under a different title. What was it called? The options are Mega Man Legends 1.5, Mega Man Legends 64, Mega Man 64, or Mega Man The Legend of Tron-Bonne.
Can you repeat the question?
Mega Man Legends, a PS1 classic action RPG, was once ported to Nintendo 64 under a different title. What was it called? Mega Man Legends 1.5, Mega Man Legends 64, Mega Man 64, or Mega Man The Legend of Tron-Bonne?
Mega Man Legends 64?
No, it was just called Mega Man 64.
Fuck! I took a total guess on that. I knew it was either one of the two.
It was misleading.
Shit. Yeah.
When they called it 64, because it was just a port of Legends.
Yeah.
Also kind of cool that they did that though.
Did they have Legends on the front?
Nope. It was the same box art, but it just said
Mega Man
64. I kind of want a copy of it just to have it, but pretty decent game. Question 9. Matt has 3 points, so we're almost halfway through.
Yeah. So we're at what number?
Question 9. Ready?
So I failed 6 points. 6 questions. Holy shit. Okay.
You getting tired, bud?
No.
Question 9. The legendary ending of Halo 3 was theorized by many to be a direct reference to Bungie's original series of first-person shooters, released on Mac computers in the mid-90s. What was this franchise called? The options are Marathon, Durandal, Infinity, or Men on Mars.
Oh shit.
Marathon, Durandal, and... Question 11. You have 3 points. Battery's running low. Gonna try to do this. Blizzard's MOBA, Heroes of the Storm.
So just to throw this out there, I have to like pass 8 of these questions.
Yep.
To... Fuck. Okay.
Heroes of the Storm features characters from several franchises, including Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, and what other IP?
Which ones did you say?
Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, and what other IP?
Oh shit. See, I know this. It's the dwarves. You know I got this.
I'm surprised you know. I'll give you it. For the sake of time.
There's 3 dwarves.
The Lost Vikings.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
you have 4 points. Question 12, name that game. What video game did the expansion Point Lookout release for?
Point Lookout?
Was it Wasteland 2, Borderlands 2, Fallout 3, or Fallout New Vegas?
Fallout 3?
Fallout 3. You have 5 points. Oh, son of a bitch.
What?
So I emailed myself an incomplete version of...
Technical
of
difficulties,
Quiztacular.
everybody.
So, if you get this one, you'll have 6 out of 13, which still isn't half.
So I still lose.
Let's try it anyway. Which of the... Let's just say this one's for fun.
Okay.
It was utterly fucked anyway. Which one of these licensed games actually served as a sequel to the movie it's named after? Reservoir Dogs, The Godfather, Scarface, or The Boondock Saints?
Sorry, what was the question?
Which one of these licensed games actually served as a sequel to the movie it's named after? Reservoir Dogs, The Godfather, Scarface, or The Boondock Saints? Reservoir Dogs, The Godfather, Scarface, or The Boondock Saints?
Boondock Saints?
Nope.
Reservoir Dogs.
Nope.
Scarface?
Scarface.
I got it, everybody!
Somehow the game starts after he gets shot up. He's all like coked out, and he gets shot the fuck up to end the movie. But in the game, he gets back up and he's like, "Oh, I'm so coked out, I don't give a fuck." And like, you get out of your mansion bleeding, and the goal is to get a car and get the fuck out so you can rebuild your empire. It's actually kind of cool. You didn't know that? You never played? It's actually a really good game.
No, I didn't. That's kind of weird.
Battery's running out. Next week, hopefully, we'll have Teddy and or Joyce back.
Yes. Adios.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. What?
I am.
I'm making sure that the framing is. Keep talking.
I am. Question mark?
Then why are you going to spend 120 bucks on some trash, Justin?
I don't know. Depends on how much money I have at the time, I guess.
These Destiny fans are rabid.
Oh, I wouldn't call myself a Destiny fan anymore.
Sure.